handler, the whole story, I was super depressed. I was going through this like investigation at work, and I went to SHOT Show. You've heard of that?
Of course, yeah, I've been there.
And so there was these dogs doing like a demonstration there, and my friends were starting a nonprofit. They went up to the dog people. They're like, "Hey, we need to get Cody a dog. We want to make him our first recipient." So a couple weeks later, I flew out to Wyoming and found Munin, my dog, and that's how I got her. So I bring her to work everywhere I went, but I wasn't a dog handler, so like it was like already taboo because no one had an active duty service dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I was desperate. So she did everything with me. And then I had to stop bringing her to work one day. This like new command guy came in. They're like, who's that guy? Why does he have a dog? Like, oh, that's his service dog. His dog helps him out throughout the day. He's like, well, my wife helps me out. You don't see me bringing her around. Like very conventional.
Yeah.
The people that people talk shit about in the military, right? Because they're just delusional.
Yeah.
And
delusional and conventional. It's sort of one and the same. You feel like people who are too steadfast in their beliefs.
It's two different militaries. It's, military is like a lot of people stay in because they're scared to get out. A lot of people stay in because it's easy to be a power trip. And when you have that as your identity, you can just like a character, you can fall into it very deeply. And, outside the box thinking or doctrine is this. I mean, this shit was like written by like old white guys, like fucking, 100 years ago, like 150 plus years ago. Like things have changed, we're not with sticks and muskets anymore. We're things doing life differently. And there's a thing called a human, right? We're not standing up on, battlefields, looking at one another and like taking turns to shoot. Like, almost makes me think that history's fake, because like just thinking of it nowadays, I'm like, that's not even brave. That's ignorant.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
But that's how we did things back in the day. And, now we have this thing called like people have feelings and emotions, and we're asking real people to do very unrealistic things. And, I don't know. I was lucky I was in this part of a special operations community, so we was able to step into that role, and I had a lot of support, but then I always had those people that they just don't get it because they're living in another reality. So we call those people guests. He wasn't part of my special operations outfit. You've heard of the Sergeant Major.
Sure.
So those guys come into our units from the big Marine Corps. Because to be a Sergeant Major, you have to be a thing called a First Sergeant, which there's no team guy billets for First Sergeants. And if you were to become a First Sergeant, like if the Marine Corps, you're like, hey, you know what, Marine Corps, I want to be a First Sergeant. And then you get promoted as a team guy, you get sent to the big Marine Corps for like 4 years. Because they wanted to spread that leadership and that knowledge experience to like a non-infantry or non-operational unit. And then you can come back as a potential Sergeant Major. But by that time, unfortunately, most of those guys forget because now they're thinking, oh shit, I want to be the Commandant of the Marine Corps Sergeant Major, so I have to have this certain type of track record. And most people aren't willing to put their dreams for their self-promoting, self-gratifying, existence on the line for, to change an environment.
Right. And